Hello and welcome everybody to today's Pacojet webinar. We are all facing challenging times and all over the world, in the whole gastronomy family. What we want to do today is I want to show you some solutions, some recipe ideas, some tips and tricks how you could use Pacojet in these times, especially in these times. One solution in closed restaurants to still serve your guests is to offer takeout menus, takeout dishes, takeout business for your business. This is one part to make a little money, and the other big part is to stay in contact with your customers, with your clients, be in their memory. So when you reopen your restaurant, they all remind, oh, we had such great food in this time, so we go back to this restaurant. And then there's another thing. There's takeout food. It's not always the best in quality. And I wanted to show you how you could use your Pacojet in preparing and serving top quality takeout food. Because this is really, really important for the customers and for you as a business, that they have a good memory of you, good memory of the food you serve them, even at home. So I hope I can show you some solutions for you that you can go on with your business and the life with it. Today, I'm going to work with Pacojet 2 Plus. Pacojet 2 Plus is our top model compared to the Pacojet 2. Here we have additionally a new blade locking system, which allows us to securely lock in the pacotizing blade. And we have a programmable automatic repeat function. I'm going to show you some applications where we use the two of them today. And we also have the Pacojet CoupSet. This is the CoupSet Plus, which fits with the Pacojet 2 Plus with the blade locking system. I will do some recipes with the CoupSet as well. We start off with a basic how to fill a beaker, what we have to keep in mind when we are filling a beaker. All the recipes, what we're doing today, what I show you today, you find on the Pacojet app. Just download the app. In most regions, the app is available. Other regions will follow. If you have any questions, please deposit the questions in the chat. I will answer the questions right at the end of the webinar. And if there's any more questions, you are always feel free, send us an email at info@pacojet.com. Then we will also answer the questions through that email channel. Okay, so we start with a mango mousse. For the mango mousse, we have fresh diced mango, powdered sugar, xanthan gum, which is adhesive, which is a gellifying agent, some lemon juice, and heavy cream. We are using a fresh mango. Why are we using fresh mango? Fresh mango has fibers, fruit fibers, and the fruit fibers, they give us a really nice, stable result. Through pacotizing, all the fibers are gone, they're filament-free, but it still gives us a nice and stable result. Also with sorbets, if you use fresh fruit in sorbets compared to fruit puree. If you use fruit puree, you might need to add more additives. For the mango mousse, we have the fresh mango. And then I use a little bit of xanthan gum. That's only about 2 grams per beaker. So that is just to give us a little bit more long-lasting, stable result. So that's only a touch. A tip here is always to dry mix these kind of stabilizers with the sugar or the salt, any dry goods what you have in your recipe, in order to let it dissolve evenly. I use in this recipe powdered sugar because it dissolves really quickly. You could also use crystal sugar, casting sugar, but that will take to dissolve a little bit longer, right? Then we add the cream. We mix it. And while mixing, we can also already feel and see how the gellifying agent is starting its work, to do its work. The advantage of xanthan gum is it works cold or hot applied. You could also use, for example, agar-agar. The same is for your ice creams or sorbets. For example, if you use agar-agar, you need to heat up the liquid with the agar-agar at 80 degrees Celsius for about 2 to 3 minutes in order that you activate the gellifying agent. With xanthan gum, you don't need to do that. By the end, I like to add a little bit of lemon juice to give the recipe a little bit of freshness. The recipe always depends on how the taste of the mango is. If the mango is more sweet, you need less sugar in the recipe. If it's more acid, you need less lemon juice in your recipe. So taste your ingredients first, and then add the sugar and the lemon juice to taste. With the new Pacojet app, it's easy. You take the recipe and you can always adjust the recipe to your needs, to your preferences, and then just save it on your recipe account. You can even share it with the whole world if you like. So we add everything into the beaker. Now we just make sure there's no air pockets in the beaker. Flatten and straighten out the top surface. Yes. We make sure that the rim of the beaker is clean. And then we label it, close it with the lid, and we freeze it for 24 hours at negative 22 degrees Celsius. You could also freeze the beaker in a blast freezer. That's possible. That way you are much faster with the freezing process, and it freezes more evenly. There's smaller ice crystals built into the recipe to get an even better result after pacotizing. But make sure after you have it frozen in the blast freezer, put it in a regular freezer. Let's settle the temperature that you have an even temperature throughout the whole beaker at negative 22 degrees Celsius. Again, freezing is possible between negative 18 and negative 23 degrees Celsius. We recommend when the negative 22 degrees. So the next thing what we do for our takeout menu, what I would like to show you is a terrine. Classic preparation of a terrine. This is very easy with Pacojet. You have always a top quality result, always the same. It doesn't matter who pushes the button on a Pacojet. You have always a result. It works any time you do. So for that, I have prepared a beaker, of course, with a chicken farce. Recipe again is in the Pacojet app. In the beaker is chicken breast, heavy cream, and about 7 grams of salt on the full beaker. I'm using our new synthetic pacotizing beakers. For the synthetic pacotizing beakers, we need a chrome steel protective outer beaker. The synthetic beaker do not work in the synthetic protective outer beaker. So always make sure use the chrome steel one. Take the pacotizing blade, put it in the splash guard. In the splash guard, there's the preliminary scraper. We attach it to the Pacojet. With the new blade locking system, it's magnetic and also screwed in. So we have 90 degrees. We have to twist in the pacotizing blade. Then we attach the beaker. And now we might zoom to the display so I can show you what we have to select on the display. On the display, you see the functions. You have pacotizing for frozen ingredients. Then we have cutting for non-frozen. And over here, we have the whipping, which is for the whipping disc. Both are part of the Pacojet coupe set. We select pacotizing. We will pacotize the full beaker. We see here the full beaker because it's lit in blue. We could select the portions over here, but we do the full beaker. Over here, we have the air pressure. The white beaker is with overpressure, and the slim beaker is with normal pressure. I would like to have my result a little bit more airy and fluffy, so I pacotize with overpressure. And over here, this is the new function. This is the repeat function. You might know the repeat function from the Pacojet 2. In the whipping mode, there is the repeat function possible. With 2+, it's in every function because we have the blade locking system. We do 2 repetitions, and then we let the Pacojet pacotize. In the meantime, you can use the time when Pacojet is pacotizing to prep what is necessary. So we need for the terrine, we need a terrine mold. We lay out the terrine mold with cling film. So like this. And then what I really like is bacon or ham, of course. So I line the terrine mold with the Schwarzwald bacon, so here from the region. You could also use any vegetables like a leek, blanch the leeks, and they're laid out with the blanched leeks if you don't like too much bacon, or puff pastry. This is totally up to you. There is no boundaries in creativity using your Pacojet. So here we are already almost with the first repetition done. This is a perfect recipe when you have scraps of meat, you know, for portioning out the meat. You use the scraps, you throw it in the beaker, you add heavy cream, you freeze it, pacotize it, and then you have a perfect farce. There's no risk that the farce will separate, or that you have to be gentle, that you have pre-freeze the meat first, or really cool down the heavy cream before making the farce. You know, the traditional method of making a farce, you use a blixer or any kind of coupe machinery. You add in the meat. The meat has to be really, really cold, even almost frozen. And then you add the heavy cream, and then you have to blend it in that accessory. And the heat is transferred, and you have to be careful that it will not separate. If you overdo it, it will separate, and then it will not hold together when you poach your terrine later on. And here, you don't always have that many scraps at one time. So bit by bit, you can fill your beaker. Just make it. You add the meat, then you fill it up with the cream. That the meat is covered. Freeze it, and then the next layer, and the next layer. So you can keep up collecting the meat scraps. This is a big advantage in saving food waste. Then we have some ingredients what I'm gonna fold into the farce to make it a little bit more nice and attractive. So I still had some pistachios in my dry storage. Pistachios go well with the bacon, go well with the chicken, and then I had some dried morels still left in my dry storage, soaked in water, diced up roughly because I want to have the chunks in my terrine. There's also a little bit liquid from the soaking inside here. Still, we can use all that ingredients for our terrine. And you will see with the 2 repetitions what we have done with the full beaker, we can use the farce right away. We don't have to let it sit outside for a long time that it will temper and get the right temperature to use next. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Perfect result. You see the nice and airy texture, creamy, perfectly emulsified, not separate at all, just perfect to use it right away. So put on the side, we take it out, can use it right away. If I have not that many orders for my takeout, so I give my customers, I give them a deadline, right? So I'd say the day before until 4 o'clock, you have to order for the next day. And then if I know, okay, it's only 6 orders for my terrine for the next day, so I might do only half a terrine, smaller form. So I do half a beaker. I program 5 portions, 3 repetitions with the 5 portions, then only those 5 selected portions will be repeatedly pacotized. I take it out, I make the small terrine, and with the rest goes back into the freezer for the next day when I have more orders. And the big advantage of the repeated pacotizing is, one, that I have it programmed and I can do something in between. I have time. And the air pressure is not released in between cycles. So it gives me an even better, even more dense, more emulsified, better emulsified result than when I do the single process times one at a time. So then we add our morels with the juice, nice and tasty juice. We can easily fold it in. It will work. It will not harm the farce. We add the pistachios, and then we just fold it in. You see the texture of the farce is perfectly to use it right away. I don't have to let it sit outside on the counter to temper, or whip it up to temper it, or add whipped cream. That's also a traditional method to add more whipped cream after the farce is prepared, to give it more a shiny texture and more perfect to for the preparation. And here you see it's perfectly shiny already. There is nothing else to add, no more steps needed. Simply and easy use it for the next step. So just flatten it out, nice and even. You see, 1 beaker is the perfect amount for this size of terrine. We fold over the bacon, each side, tuck, cover it nice. This is going to give us a nice and juicy texture and incredible flavor. and then we line it with the cling film. And this goes down then later on, or now in the combi oven, steam 90 degrees Celsius, about 35 minutes. Always depending on you want to have the texture. If you want to have the texture a little bit more creamy with your terrine, you lower the temperature to 80 degrees Celsius. If not, you go higher, 90, then the result will be a bit more dense. Good. Since we do not have so much time today and we don't want to wait for 35 minutes, I have prepped it ahead this morning. You see, that's our terrine from this morning. Now, what is really important for the customer is how he gets his food. So there's many possibilities. I'm going to show you some. So we have this to-go containers. They are, I think they are recycled. You can use, these are paper ones. You can use recycled ones. You can use plastic ones. That's totally up to you. Portioning, very easy. Just slice 2 slices. And then there's one possibility that we just plate it like this. You see perfect texture in the terrine, in the farthest part, nice and airy, even. And then you see inside, you see the pieces of morel, and you see the pieces of the pistachios, the one we have folded in. Then serve some condiments with that. We have, for example, little sauce Cumberland served in a separate container. You could also use little plastic cups, and then you have one space free for a Waldorf celery salad or something like that. I recommend that you serve all parts separately, or even one possibility would be cryovac the single orders of the terrine. So you get even a better, perfect quality result for your customers. Then you give them a little note, cut the bag open, give them instructions. The people really like that. You give them instructions how they have to finish their food, because in order that way you can secure that they have a top quality food that tastes good. Takeout food is not always the best quality, but you want to have your customers remembering you and your restaurant and the food you serve. So in order that you serve the food as possible, as good as in the restaurant, you need the help of your customers at home. Because if you heat up the soup and then you send it to them while delivery, the soup is never the same quality as you have it in the restaurant. So give them the instructions, let them work for you or with you, and then they plate their own dish, they heat it up with themselves at home, and so they get the perfect quality result, and then they will remember your restaurant. Even takeout food was great with them, so I go back. Since when they open again, first thing, I go back and check them out again. Good. Then next appetizer, gorgonzola mousse is what I like to show you next. We put the terrine back. I have the gorgonzola mousse prepped ahead. This is the recipe, is also on the Pacojet app. Very simple recipe. It's perfect to use up any cheese what you still have available of scraps of cheese. You mix it with heavy cream, little salt, lemon juice if you like. You could even add a little toast if you like in the beaker. Freeze it. Just mix it and freeze it in the beaker, and then when you pacotize it twice, you have the perfect mousse. It's really a nice appetizer for home, something different. For that, as a condiment, we give red beets. I have some diced up red beets. It's like 2 centimeter dices. They're raw, and we do a red beet tartare. I like vegetables as a tartare, and I like the beets rare because they get a really nice and hearty taste with that. You could also use cooked red beets, so whatever you prefer. We use with the chrome steel beaker, pacotizing beaker, we use the synthetic protective outer beaker, and we use the coupe set. We use the two blade cutter of the Pacojet coupe set. Important is the tongue to attach, to securely attach the blade with the Pacojet. Now we could zoom to the display because we have different steps. We select the cutting mode. With the coupe set, with the cutting mode, we cannot select portions because the blade has to go all the way to the bottom of the beaker in order to process all the food what is inside the beaker, of course. The big advantage here is that the blade goes from top to bottom through the vegetable in that case and cuts it evenly, all the same size, and there's no heat transfer, so there's no bleeding, no liquid loss, there is no color changing, and you get the even result. Over here we have the repeat function. I want to have a little smaller dices, so I go to 2 repetitions. Then I could still play with the air pressure over here on that side. The wide beaker is with air pressure and the slim beaker is with normal pressure. In that case, that would not change the result. But if you do beef tartare, for instance, and you use a tenderloin with air pressure, as a bit over pressure, you get a more fine, more moussey result, and with normal pressure, the result will be more coarser, looks more like hand cut when you have the result. So in that case, it does not matter. Again, we can now use the time while Pacojet is working to prep what we need for our gorgonzola mousse to plate. There's a possibility of using plastic cups. They are recycled plastic cups, or these glass bowls with lid. You have to make sure that you calculate the price into the menu. If you give them the glass container, or you give it them for free because you couldn't use that nicely as a storage at home, or you do like a refund system. That's totally up to you. One possibility to send it to your customer is to send the mousse, the gorgonzola mousse, in the piping bag. Send it in the piping bag to your customer, and then you give him instructions. You give him instructions like take it out of the fridge 20 minutes prior you use it, you need to use it, you need to plate. Cut in an angle the tip off of the piping bag, and then you pipe it on the plate. You see, it's very important that you give it out from the fridge a little bit sooner than I did, so it's not too compact in the result. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Just as an idea, this doesn't look so nice. So make sure you give the right instructions to your customer, that they know what to do. In that time now our red beets are ready. Really nice red beet tartar in the beaker. I hope you can see that. So we marinate them right away. I have a little vinaigrette with raspberry vinegar and extra virgin olive oil, some salt and cumin. We use the pacotizing beaker as a bowl, and then we take an extra container to plate it. Why is this important? This is important if I put the red beet tartar right on top of my gorgonzola mousse, it will color the gorgonzola mousse, and then it doesn't look really nice. So my advice is package it separately and send it separately to the customer, and then you give him instructions how he can plate, and then he will be happy that he has a nice dish. Add some caramelized walnuts with the dish, some greens, some leaves, whatever you desire. You could also use, instead of the glass packaging, you could cryovac the marinated red beets with this one over here, and then you just take it out of the bag on top of the gorgonzola mousse. Very good. Next thing is soup. Soup is very nice topic for takeout. Everybody likes soup, and we have a lot of vegetables what we can use for soup. I give you an example of a Thai soup. This is one of my favorite recipes on the Pacojet app. You can simply adjust the ingredients. You know, if you use galangal or ginger, lemongrass in your soup, that's totally up to you. You see nicely, you have the whole lemongrass, you have the whole ginger, whole galangal, shallot onions, coconut milk, and a little chicken stock. In the beaker, in the protective outer beaker, we attach the pacotizing plate and attach the beaker to the Pacojet. We select pacotizing. Now we have only one single order I want to show you, so we do 2 portions. In the meantime, we get ready with our dishes. We serve the Thai soup with some quenelles. I call them quenelles. This is a chicken farce, and I had some stems of coriander green stems in the farce, pacotized, and then they get the nice green color and the full aroma of the coriander. Just take it out with a spoon into simmering water, 2-3 minutes, and then you have the perfect ingredient to serve it with your soup, for example. Pacojet is ready, very fast. We have 1 portion in 20 seconds. The full beaker is less than 4 minutes. Take it out, and now check out the result. Perfect powder. Even the lemongrass is fine as snow. You have the full aroma, and you don't have to throw away anything. You can use up everything here. You take the powder and you plate it in the dish. You could also use the paper cups. That's totally up to you. Right? Fill it in there. And with the rest, We just scrape it down, clean the top of the beaker, and then we freeze it again, and we can use it another day. Tomorrow, next week, whenever. So no food waste at all. And then we send them the canals with the soup, and we tell the customer on our little instruction sheet, you add the canals to the soup bowl, and it's very easy to finish your soup because it's a Pacojet instant soup. We add boiling hot water. You give it a stir. And you can enjoy your soup right away. Make it simple for your customer. Make it exciting. And with this soup, he has to work a little. It's easy to prep. It's easy to serve, and it's full aroma. The aroma and the flavor is just amazing of the soup. If it's too high concentrated, you can give them some extra coconut milk in order to put it in there, but make sure you serve him everything, or you send him everything he needs to serve in his recipe. Then I brought you some more condiments you could pacotize for your customers. I have first, there's another possibility of sending them the Thai soup concentrate. The powder will melt. If you crack them, the powder will melt, and then it's like a paste. You can send it to them nice and with little space needed. Here we have red lentil spread. It's vegan with some smoked paprika. Perfect in these little jars. Hummus, classic hummus, also pacotized. Then hummus with a little red beet. Just take a little bit of the soya beans out and add some red beets to the recipe. So you see your creativity. There are no boundaries. And with this, you can prep them once a week or once in 2 weeks. You have enough in your storage, and then send it out when you need them. You get nice little glasses. You label them. You have another thing what you can offer to your customers in order to make a little business. We have pesto, classic pesto. You see how nice and green it is. And then we have cream spinach as a side. And here I'd like to show you the texture. This is a recipe I really love, and I use a lot. And when you take out the spinach, you put it on a plate, you see the perfect texture, the color, the flavor is just amazing. You send it to like this to your customer, tell them heat it up for a minute, and then you serve it. You have the perfect quality, top quality food. And this is what is important, and this is what your customers want to have, so they remember your restaurant. So now it's time to do our mango mousse, what we have prepared before. I have a beaker prepped already before, because we need to freeze 24 hours. And now let's say we have only one order for the mango mousse. Of course, we need a pacotizing blade and a splash guard. Attach it to your Pacojet, and then attach the protective beaker. We go to pacotizing, and we do 3 portions with 3 repetitions and with overpressure. While Pacojet is pacotizing, we get ready for our plating. Here again, the mango mousse, we could use the piping bag to plate, or we use the piping bag to send it to the customer. Here in the martini glass, I give you a sample. That could be an idea. You write that down on your instruction sheet and say, for the mango mousse, if you use a classic martini glass. I'm sure a lot of people do have a glass like this at home, or any other glass. Give him ideas what the customer can do, and then you send some condiments with your mango mousse. We have over here, this is a twill made with the coupe set, sugar, egg whites, little flour, then baked in the oven. Added some sesame seeds before baking. Or I have over here another twill. This is a meringue. The meringue recipe is also on the app. I added some mint concentrate, so it's fresh mint and simple syrup, frozen, pacotized. Added that to the meringue mixture, thinly spread it on a parchment paper, and then dried in the oven. This is also a really nice condiment for the mango mousse. Here we see we have the really nice result because we use the fresh fruit. You could also use fruit puree, but even with the fresh fruit, with the fibers, gives us a really, really nice result. Oh, check it out. Really nice, perfect result. Pacotized mango mousse. Very simple recipe, but perfect to prep, perfect to sell. Everybody likes mango, and really a nice opportunity, a nice possibility to give them a nice dessert for them at home. We take the 3 portions out, what we have selected, and the rest will go back into the freezer. Clean the beaker inside. This is very important, because if you don't clean the beaker inside, the lid might get stuck to the beaker, and then when it's frozen, you don't get off the lid. So always make sure the beaker is inside clean, and the lid as well. Put it in the freezer for the use next time. So again, we could use the piping bag as container to send it to the customer, or we plate it in little plastic containers, glass container. But I think the idea with the piping bag is a nice one. You give them instructions and they plate it themselves. You see the nice, creamy, perfect texture of the mango mousse, and how simple it was to prepare. You know, life, even in these days, is hard enough. So make your life easy. Choose something easy to make, and what the people like, what they can easily finish at home, and what they can finish in a perfect texture at home. So we are almost at the end of our webinar. I would like to give you a little summary what we have seen today. We've been working with the Pacojet 2 Plus. We prepped a mango mousse pica, which we pacotized just now and plated it on our martini glass, which is easy to deliver in a piping bag. Then we had the gorgonzola mousse with the red beet tartare. Vegetable as a tartare is a really nice, trendy appetizer. You can even serve that only with greens, without the with the gorgonzola mousse, if you have like a vegan version of the appetizer. So this is a really nice idea. Make sure you serve all the ingredients separately. Then we have our terrine, our chicken terrine with the morels and the pistachios inside. We pacotized the pica 2 times, folded it into the bacon, and then steamed it at 35 minutes at 80 to 90 degrees Celsius, up to you. Serve it or send it out to your customers either in a cryovac bag or in these to-go containers, whatever you prefer. Then we had our Pacojet instant Thai soup, easy to plate, easy to finish. For the people they work from home, for easy lunch dish, perfect to use up the scraps of the farce with the chicken and all the ingredients for the Thai soup. And then I showed you some condiments. I showed you the red lentil spread, hummus, red beet hummus, basil pesto, and the creamed spinach. I would really like to thank you for your attention. I hope I could give you some ideas how to use your Pacojet in these difficult times. And I hope to see you soon next time. All the best for your business. Stay healthy. See you soon. Bye-bye.